Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a really powerful framework that's all about getting you out of the day-to-day weeds and back into the driver's seat of your own company. And it all starts with one single, very important question. So let's just start right here. This question gets right to the absolute heart of why so many entrepreneurs feel like they're just treading water, constantly putting out fires instead of actually steering the ship. If that sounds even a little bit familiar, you're in exactly the right place. The material we're digging into today puts it so bluntly, and I think it's perfect. It says, if your business is running on your personal hustle and your hustle alone, you are on a one-way track to burnout. It's just not sustainable, and it's definitely not how you build something that's meant to last. Okay, so let's explore this really common problem, which the source material calls the agency owner's trap. And it really is a trap. It's this dilemma that keeps so many passionate founders completely stuck, and it stops their businesses from ever hitting their true potential. It seems like most business owners end up on one of two paths. On the one hand, you've got the small and scrappy fate. You're just stuck in this cycle of feast or famine, trying to get by. Then, on the other hand, you have grow fast and furious. This is where you're scaling so fast that it's just pure chaos, and it feels like the whole thing could just implode at any second. Either of those sound familiar? Now, here's where this strategic business blueprint gets really, really interesting. It uses this simple but incredibly powerful metaphor to explain the solution, and it's all about a bicycle. Yep, that's the core idea. It's such a simple image, right? But that's what makes this whole framework so easy to understand and, more importantly, easy to remember when you're right in the middle of all the chaos. Okay, so first up, you've got the front wheel. Now, this isn't about the business. Not yet. This is about you. It represents your personal goals, what you actually want your life to look and feel like. That front wheel, that's what sets the direction for absolutely everything else. And then, of course, you have the back wheel. This is the engine of your business. We're talking about your team, your operations, all your systems and processes. This is the wheel that provides all the power to actually move you forward. And this is what brilliantly illustrates your role in all of this. You are the rider. You're the one providing the energy. You're the one steering. You get to decide if you're going to grind up that mountain or just coast down the hill. You are in charge. Now here's the kicker. This is the most crucial part of the metaphor. If your personal vision, that front wheel, is pointing in a different direction than your business engine, the back wheel, well, you're in for a wobbly, unstable, and completely exhausting ride. The whole goal is to get them perfectly aligned. So the big question is, how do you actually get those wheels aligned? Well, this whole bicycle idea builds into a super practical 4-part framework that's designed to get them spinning together in perfect harmony. So the blueprint has 4 parts, and they all lock together. You absolutely need all of them. Miss one, and as the source material says, your bike turns into a unicycle in a hurricane. So let's break them down. Step 1 starts with you. It's all about being brutally honest with yourself and asking, what do I really want this business to give me? Not your ego, not what you think you should want, but what do you want? This answer becomes your true North Star. So then, once you know your personal destination, you can actually work backward to build a company vision that can get you there. This becomes your filter for every decision. If a new opportunity doesn't move you closer to that vision, it's just a distraction. I love this line. A vision without a plan is just a motivational poster hanging on the wall. This step is where you build the actual roadmap. You take those big, audacious goals and you break them down into real, tangible, quarterly priorities that you and your team can actually get done. And finally, we get to the part where, let's be honest, most plans go to die: execution. This is all about building the systems and the rhythms, like weekly check-ins and having clear ownership, to make sure the work actually happens. It's a muscle, and it needs to be trained consistently. All right, I know what some of you might be thinking, and the source material totally gets it. So let's just tackle the common excuses head on, the ones that keep owners trapped in that cycle of hustle and burnout. The source calls these excuses the comfort food of stagnation. And isn't that perfect? If you're too busy, then you're the person who needs this the most. If you think you're too small, well, this is the absolute best time to start. These are just the stories we tell ourselves to stay exactly where we are. So let's say you do it. You push past all those excuses and you actually do the work. what's on the other side? What's the real destination? What's the ultimate payoff for putting this blueprint into action? It really just boils down to these three things. First, clarity. The kind of clarity where you always know the next right move. Then, control. You stop being reactive and you start leading from the front. And finally, confidence. The confidence to make big, bold decisions without constantly second-guessing yourself. And what does that actually feel like on a random Tuesday afternoon? Well, it feels like making decisions faster because everyone knows the goal. It feels like your whole team is aligned, paddling in the same direction. And you finally start to feel less like an overworked employee in your own company and more like a real CEO. And that's it, right there. That's the real transformation that's on offer here. It's a fundamental shift in your role. It's about graduating from being the best technician in your business to becoming its most important leader. So, there you have it. The blueprint is laid out, the path is clear. You've got the bike, you know how it works, and the only question left is the one the source material ends with. Are you ready to grab the handlebars and lead the ride?